CES 2015, big screens, epic audio, the Internet of Things is a hot mess, and a lot of cars. Brace yourself, people. All that and more is coming up on this episode of TekThing. Viewers like you make TekThing possible. If you get value from the show and would like to support us directly, please consider contributing via our Patreon link at TekThing.com.
I'm Shannon Morse.
And I'm Patrick Norton, and this is TekThing. We're here to make your technology behave.
And we're going to have fun doing it. So you might know us from a little show that we used to do called Tekzilla. We like tech, but we love what we can do with it. So whether it's the latest in mobile phones or speeding up your gaming PC,
new apps, or how to make sure your data or that awesome photo doesn't disappear forever, this is your show.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but today is all about the 2015 Consumer Electronics Show.
Yay!
We are back from Vegas. We are partially rehydrated.
Partially. I've been drinking lots and lots of black tea all morning. That's it. I'm like, no CES flu, no CES flu. So first off, we wanted to discuss the Internet of Things a little bit.
Yes.
Because it's still kind of a hot mess in a way that only a new continent of tech growing out of the ocean floor can look.
It's kind of, yeah, I mean, okay, I was getting a little florid with that line, but it's kind of funny. That was the big thing. We knew coming into the CES, the Internet of the Internet of Things. What exactly is that, right? Okay,
yeah.
The Internet of Things is like, how about smartwatches like Garmin's Vivo Active? You know,
exactly.
With its built-in apps for running and cycling and golfing and swimming. Sony's got a smartwatch 3. Hyundai has an app that'll let you start your car from a smartwatch. BMW had an advanced tech demo where you could basically say, you know, BMW, come to me, and your car would drive itself to you.
That's pretty cool.
Samsung had this demo. I was talking on Tom Merritt's podcast about this, and Patrick Bay was really irritated, right? Because he was like, you know, they had the demo seemed so contrived because, like, you know, it's cold outside and you walk into the house and your favorite chair knows that, so the heater in the chair is on and it automatically starts up your computer, and it was just, you know, it's. All I can say is, look, Samsung, they bought SmartThings last year, which is an extraordinary company or technology. Well, they bought SmartThings because their technology was extraordinary, and they were trying to make all of this stuff open, right?
Which is great.
Yes, I think it's if it's not open, it's not going to work.
Yes.
You know, Nest was all over the place. You know, it works with Nest. It works with Nest.
Yeah, everything works with Nest. Everything ends up working with Dropcam, and there's a whole bunch of other ones that are built in together. Yeah. And there's also a lot of light bulbs.
Well, okay, so yeah, this is not, by the way, for us, covering the Internet of Things is going to be this emerging thing because some of it's home automation and some of it's things like, you know, it's just a big concept, right? Light bulbs are easy, so everybody's
doing them.
Yeah, and you can say, oh, Philips did that with the Hue, and they did, but now it's like a $20 light bulb that can turn off or turn on, or you can adjust the levels. Belkin brought back the Wemo Crockpot along with lights and switches.
Which is super cute.
Yes.
And then there was this thing by Sensoria, and this is like a pair of socks that apparently show you what to do.
It's basically there's sensors in the socks, and they basically measure like where your foot is striking and the intensity that ties into an application on your smartphone, and then it tells you if you're running in a way that's going to damage your body. That's part of the Internet of Things,
yeah,
right?
it's pretty cool because that would definitely come into handy, but
it's
so weird.
Too many, you know. There's too much going on right now.
Exactly. There's a lot of proprietary brands.
Yes.
Not all of them work together. You might have to download like 10 different apps to make your entire house connect correctly.
Right.
And things are still kind of broken. There's no solid advancement into one thing that's going to make this blow up. Right now, everybody's still experimenting, and we're not seeing anything really become a cash cow, if you want to put it that way.
Well, maybe the light bulbs.
Maybe
for the companies that make light bulbs. I don't know. But we will be covering this over the year as it evolves.
So moving on from the Internet of Things, we got a tweet from Mr. Bob Barker. He said, "How curved is the most curved screen? Can it curve around the back of my head?"
You might not want to mock the curved screens.
They're pretty legit.
Yeah, well, okay.
They look good.
I don't know if they're legit, but Samsung actually sold more curved 4K screens than flat 4K screens last year.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
That's what I think Samsung was.
Who's buying those?
Well, people who are spending a lot of money on a, if you're spending, thousands of dollars on a 4K screen, apparently it looks cooler to you if it's curved. But it was funny because there really is no advantage to a curved screen in a television environment, in a living room environment. But let's kind of step away from curves for the moment, because I think curves are a blip and then they're going to go away.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Okay.
Some things to really think about, like 3 things: LG OLED TVs.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you were even more amazed than I was.
These were really pretty. I actually got to go into a demo room and experience these for myself. They had a regular LED TV next to an OLED TV, one of the beautiful ones, and you could see you couldn't see the blacks. It just blended in with the bezel. It was amazing. Yeah. It was really, really cool to see in person. So I was impressed.
That was pretty gorgeous. Sony's X900 series 4K TVs are 4.9 millimeters thin at their thinnest part, so they seem to have a fatter base on them. They're doing extended dynamic range color. It's gorgeous. Samsung's SUHD TVs are using quantum dot technology. They're also basically to give it an expanded color gamut. The reds look better, the greens look better, especially the reds. Nice. Yeah. Samsung's moving to the Tizen operating system, which among other things is going to bring them to PlayStation Now, which is the cloud stream PlayStation 3 games. You can use a DualShock Wireless 4 controller.
Oh, that's cool.
We'll get Robert Heron on to talk about it.
Yeah, I think we should. He will geek out about it.
Yeah, it's amazing. But quantum dot crystals, you're going to hear that a lot. Quantum dot crystals fluoresce when they're exposed to any light source up to the dots emitted wavelength, which you care about because it makes a more pure light that allows reds and greens to express more accurately, to expand the color range that's available off the monitor.
That's really interesting.
It's really cool, and it's going to be, if you like you saw side by side, the reds are going to be amazing, the greens are going to be better. It's exciting. It's fun.
Yay.
Yay.
Now, we also got a tweet, and this one was from @ChrisColeIsMe. He said, "Is there anything exciting in home theater, not TV, this year? AV receivers, speakers, etc."
The big thing for me was the Dish Sling TV.
Yeah.
So TNT, TBS, CNN, Food Network, HGTV, the Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, the Disney Channel, ESPN, and ESPN2. Hopefully I got that list right, all for $20 a month.
Wow.
It's supposed to show up on the Amazon Fire TV and the Fire TV Stick, Mac, OS X, Roku set-top boxes, Roku TV, the Roku Stick, Windows PCs, the Google Nexus player, if anybody's actually bought one, LG TVs, the Xbox One. I see no signs so far of PlayStation 4, Chromecast, but essentially these are cable channels live over the internet.
I'm okay with this.
For $20 a month.
Haven't we been thinking that this is the way cable would go for a really long time, and the cable industry was just like, no, we can't have this. Well, it's funny. I don't want it.
It's going to be a big year, right? Because we hear that HBO Go is going to be decoupled from a cable subscription.
Yes.
The Dish Network is obviously, I guess this is my shot across the bow hand signal, but it's, this is like ESPN. I know a lot of people are like, I can't get rid of cable. I need ESPN. Well, now you can ESPN on your Roku box for $20 a month. One that's kind of interesting, Panasonic's 4K Blu-ray player. There is no 4K Blu-ray spec. It's not done yet. You can expect it later this year. But this box is going to support HEVC and the high dynamic range color that they expect to be in the spec. So in theory, I'm guessing they're thinking if it's a Blu-ray and these technologies are incorporated in the 4K version, they'll do a firmware upgrade to support it. And also,
that'll be interesting.
Yeah, actually, I want to see 4K on a physical distribution medium. Yeah. Because I like Blu-rays. Because, I get irritated when I can't stream things. And I want all of the bandwidth. And Dolby Atmos in the home. I saw some gorgeous gear in the Pioneer booth, the Elite amplifier. Just the build
pretty things.
Pretty things, and lots of copper inside of that amp.
We also saw, I don't know about you, but I'm walking around the show floor and I'm like, oh, look, there's a car. Oh, there's another car. Oh, look, there's a car. Oh, look at all these magical cars.
Okay, so the big Microsoft keynote, the big Intel keynote, they're gone. The big thing, BMW's i3 Active Assist sneak peeks at future autonomous driving, or as Chris Ziegler put it on The Verge, quote, I tried to crash a BMW, but it parked itself instead.
Funny.
Right? So not only is it keeping you from crashing, but they had an app on the Samsung Gear smartwatch so you could go send the car to park itself or summon it. BMW, pick me up, and the car comes to find you wherever you're holding the watch. Kind of surprising, Chevy gave a 30-second sneak peek of the 2016 Volt.
I missed that part.
Well, they didn't give any of the details on it. They were just like, whoop, here it is, whoop, there it goes.
Surprise!
Yeah, they were much more in-depth on OnStar. It's going to get prognostics, which is actually fairly Have I mentioned I've been in Las Vegas for like 4 days? I don't even
Both
drink and I'm beat to death. So Prognostics and OnStar is going to monitor your battery, your starter motor, and the fuel system and warn you if things seem to be getting problematic. And then they're going to do like a Priceline tie-in, so you can use OnStar and an OnStar operator to help you book hotels.
Yeah.
You did a bunch of stuff with Toyota.
Yeah, I did. Discovery Digital Networks hired me on to do a bunch of videos for Toyota Mirai. It's their new hydrogen fuel cell vehicle.
Wow.
They're also releasing like 5,000 plus patents this year for FCVs and the infrastructure so that people can actually build fuel cell stations.
Well, they're looking...
If just them were doing it, it wouldn't work out that way. So it's royalty free. Anybody's going to be able to work on these, and it's pretty huge.
It's going to be interesting to watch. LG's had a WebOS-based smartwatch, not an Android Wear. Or I should say Audi and LG partnered to do a WebOS smartwatch. That's going to allow you to control parts of your Audi, including unlocking it over NFC.
That's pretty cool.
Hyundai's BlueLink now is linked to Android smartwatches, so you can unlock or start your car by clicking on a link or give it voice commands. And apparently they're going to do that. It's going to work with all the BlueLink equipped cars going back to 2012. So it's not just for new cars, which I think is great. Ford's going to basically did previews of its Sync 3.
Yes, I really hope that I can update my car. That is so weird to say. I really hope that I can update my car.
We want to thank Hack5 for the studio space and helping us build this new show. If you haven't checked it out, Hack5 is the place to go for anything related to hacking, modding, and internet security with a little fun mixed in. You can find all the techno-lust at hackshop.com. And hey, go there, order, mention us, support the show so they can help support us so we can bring the show to you. Got a tweet from @BaltMatrix who tweets, "What thing did you see that triggered your techno-lust?" Shannon?
Everything. All of the things. Well, I'm very green. I'm into green technology. I'm also very into adventure/exercise technology. So that's what mostly ran my favoritizing.
Rang your bell?
Rang my bell this year. So first off, I saw this thing called the Parrot Pot, which is by the same guys who made the Parrot drone. This thing is Bluetooth capable. It's a smart pot for a library of up to 8,000 plants that they currently have available in their library.
Did we mention the Internet of Things?
Internet of Things. So this thing automatically waters your plants and it promotes healthy growth of whatever kind of plant you just happen to have in there. Unfortunately, they don't have a price yet. So judging by how much the drone costs, it will probably cost a lot too.
Okay.
So probably a couple $100. But on the less expensive side, I also found another one called the Eden Smart Plant Monitor, which is really cute looking. It's a little yellow spoke thingy that you just stick in the ground.
Yeah, it's a solar cell on a stick, except it's not a light for your path.
It's a solar cell, pretty thing. Although you could probably hack it and stick a light on there. Maybe I should do that. So it's a whole rounded like gardening tool. So it gives you information on light, humidity, the temperature, the soil nutrition, and the moisture of your garden. And it works in any soil, so you don't have to have this specific pot to make it work, and it's only $100.
Well, you can also move a cluster of them together, and they have an actual water switch, so you can use that to basically automatically water off of a drip irrigation system. Yeah,
so I like what Eden is doing. I thought it was pretty cool. Pretty fun thing. I'm hoping to get one on the show so I can review it. I also saw the Panasonic open-ear bone conduction headphones with reflective design, and those are only $80 as compared to some really expensive ones on the market. Even though these were released in September, I got a first look at them at CES for the first time. I was very excited about that. I really like the fact that it's open ear, so you can hear what's going on around you, especially if you're running in a very high traffic area.
Not getting run over in traffic.
Yeah, water resistant, so if you sweat a lot when you're running, it's not going to bother you if you have sweat running down your face. And then it also has this reflective design on the back, so headlights will reflect off of it whenever you're running too, so they'll be able to see you.
You'll be the little bouncing light.
Bounce around. And on the pet side of things, this was another cool thing that I saw over at one of the press events. It's called the Pet Cube. It's $200. It's iOS and Android capable. It's a pet viewing camera. So you stick this in your household, you leave on your trip or whatever, and you can view what your pets are doing. So it's basically a webcam. But it also has a laser built in, a movable laser. So when you connect to it via their app, you can just start playing with a laser far, far away from your cats. And I totally want to do this. And one of my things about this was, well, how's the security? Is it going to secure? Like,
is my pet toy going to cause my network to be compromised?
Exactly. So it is. It just connects to your home Wi-Fi. It's 128-bit SSL, so that's pretty good connection. And they also have this cool little social networking feature, so you can share your videos with whoever you want, but only the people that you want. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So pretty cool app. Also want to see that one in person a little bit more, so I can try to hack it.
Oh my goodness.
And on the gaming side of things, of course, we had Razer there. They're there every single year. They had this new thing called the Forge TV. It looks like a little box. It looks kind of like a Roku, to be honest. It's an Android TV / Google Cast box. So this lets you play like next level Android gaming. Some of the really hardcore like 3D games that you can play on your phone, you can actually cast to your TV and use up to 4 controllers with it. So you can do a lot of multiplayer stuff. They're trying to create more of a multiplayer experience with people in your household.
But I could use the Amazon Fire TV for that, or the Oru box that came out last year. Hopefully Razer's got enough sway to actually make this kind of take root a little bit better.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how this one goes, especially because they have a lot of competition right now. This one also is only $100, so it's a very competitive price as well. Now on the other side of things with Razer, they also had this really cool thing that's kind of a competition to Oculus Rift. So this thing is called OSVR. It's open source virtual reality. And it's this whole team of a bunch of different supporters, including Razer and Gearbox and Leap Motion are a couple of the other ones. It's an open source headset that they're trying to create for gamers and for people that are interested to let you play virtual reality gaming.
So it's an Oculus Rift competitor.
Exactly. And the nice thing about this is the Hacker Dev Kit that they're going to be releasing really soon is only $200.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a really good price. So they describe everything that you want to over at osvr.com about that one. I really want to check that one out some more. It looks super, super fun. And then we have some drones, of course. The Lantronix Xano drone. This is the smallest drone that I've seen so far. Connects to Android or iOS. It's autonomous, so you can just set it up to do certain things. Like you can just leave it droning in a standstill hovering position for a while, or you can make it like go back to a home base. You can do things like that. I thought that was pretty interesting. And then they also have an on-flight camera for it, and it's under $300. So it's a very, very good excuse to spend some money.
Yeah, we're only going to mention 2 drones on the show today. There were a lot more drones there. Most of them were toys, and not very good toys at that.
And of course, since I was doing some stuff for Sony with Signal, I got to check out their new 4K action cam. I thought this was cool because it's competition for GoPro, which is great because it's going to try to spur some more of this adventure type camera.
Let's just say it's quality competition for GoPro.
It's quality, yeah. So it's a 4K action cam as opposed to just HD. Brand new, $500. So it's also on par with GoPro's prices. It has the steady shot in it, so it's not going to shake whenever you're like riding your bike or using a razor in the desert or whatever. It's splash proof, so I could take it snorkeling with me, which is pretty cool. Stereo sound quality, so they have a mic on the front, which you can also use underwater with their little casing. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, I was like, yay, I can actually hear myself
Does it come with the sort of impact-proof, waterproof case? Or?
Yeah, it comes with one with it, so you don't have to buy it separately or anything like that. And it's also Wi-Fi control, so you can control it from your smartphone. I suggest not taking your smartphone underwater, though, unless it's capable of that.
Or in a life-proof case.
Super fun times. Some of the fun things that you do when you go to these events is drink a lot of drinks and then go to press events. So I went to a press event and my friend was like, hey, you should check out this cool little scooter thing. And I was like, oh, I need a scooter for the warehouse that we're working in here. So I checked out this thing called the Eco Rico electric scooter. It can go up to 20 miles on a single charge, so it is battery powered, and it goes up to 20 miles per hour. It's a freaking scooter that goes 20 miles per hour. I thought that was so cool. So it only charges for 2 hours, and that gets it up to 80% of its full battery life. So really, really good. Rechargeable battery, has a little kickstand on it, and it's very large foot areas, so it's really comfortable to ride on. And it's very smooth, too. I like that, too.
How much? For 20-mile range is huge for an electric
So I know that you can buy regular scooters for like, $100 or so. This one's $1,000. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's okay.
It's $12.50 for the really smooth one, and then they have one that's made for just regular sidewalk performance or like on carpet for $1,000. So if you want 250 more, you can take it on rocks. And then ridiculous side of things, I had to mention this because it's just I don't know why they made this thing. It's called the Cube. It's high-fidelity sound and a beer cooler all at once because you want to be classy while you're drinking your beer.
Well, maybe you're.
If you're sticking like 24 beers in here though, it better be some classy beer because it's $1,000. It's $1,000 for this gigantic speaker.
I think you know what this is for. This is for all the people who saw the people have been building gear into coolers for a while, especially sound systems.
Yeah, that's true.
This is for people who want, like you said, something that looks more sophisticated.
It's very sophisticated. It has the nice leather latches on the side so you can carry it, or the handles. It also has nice LED mood lighting on the inside for your beer.
I don't think it's nearly as fun as the sort of ping pong table, which I'm assuming is a beer pong table that Kicker put together for their booth.
Okay, that's
awesome. With like 9 million power.
I missed that part.
It was I got a picture for you.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So what did you see? Because those were my top 10 ridiculous/awesome things.
The thing I wanted the most that I saw on the show floor, Dell's UltraSharp U3415W, which is a 34-inch curved 21:9 monitor. Samsung also had a very similar model, the SE790C. That's going to be available later this year. The one from Dell is going to be available now. 3440 by 1440 pixels, 60 hertz, $1,200, which is expensive, but it looked really gorgeous. If you're looking for a big, large workspace.
Yeah, they're really pretty.
And I mentioned, I'm not really big on curved televisions for the living room.
I found the curved ones.
But when it's right in front of you and you're typing, it actually makes a little bit more sense.
So this is cool how they separated out into two different workspaces.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got a chance to use a 4K Dell monitor for a couple months, and having that huge workspace was incredible.
Yeah.
And these actually, I saw a number of arrays where they had 5 of these monitors stacked on top of each other. They were amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Not quite as amazing as the Oculus Rift Crescent Bay demo. There's I have a picture of me in the glasses, and there's this look of awe and wonder. I have not been a fan of the Oculus Rift so far, in part because I had a bunch of friends nearly vomit with or in one case actually vomit with the first generation glasses. But the resolution on these is fantastic. There is no lag. At least that I could detect, and the demo was really cool because it went from everything simple interactive environments to sort of a virtual 3D train set with little fires and fire engines and a space alien, and it was just, and they ended with the Unreal 4 demo, which was incredibly intense, and that was, I gotta say, I really want to see what Facebook does with this.
I'm really into virtual reality myself, so yeah, can I have one? Please.
As soon as you can buy one, because I ain't got the money and it's not a product yet. I had a great conversation with the folks at Audio Control about making car audio sound amazing. They make audio processing gear, does basically EQ, signal delay, allows you to take, say, a stock head. I mean, it's crazy how good a stock head unit can sound with some help. Intel's Compute Stick is interesting. It's a $150 Windows HDMI stick, x86 processor, quad core. It's got 2 gigabytes of RAM and 32 gigabytes of storage. Micro USB power is going to be necessary for this version. There's a micro SD slot, USB port, 802.11n is built in. Sleep Number, you've probably seen the advertisements. You and your spouse can have the firm or soft mattress that you want. You can raise the front, you can raise the back. The Sleep IQ Kids is this crazy $1,000 kids bed. What? So it'll elevate the front. You can adjust the tension. You have the Sleep Number, right?
Yeah.
So it can be firmer or softer. Yeah. If the kid gets off the bed, it'll turn a night light on under the bed. If the kid gets off the bed, you can have alerts sent to you. It has an application that actually monitors. So it'll as the guy who would see his child sleeping and be like, oh my God, is the kid dead? And you would lean down to try to listen to make sure the breathing was happening. Because, my kids are 110 decibels all the time. Then they fall asleep and they make no noise. And this will actually give you an idea of what their heartbeat is like, or if they're thrashing around. It has a restless alert so that you can go in and try to soothe the child before they, explode screaming. Inexpensive? No, but again, sort of an Internet of Things item, and actually seems kind of really practical.
Yeah.
I don't know how practical the DJI's Inspire 1 drone is.
I don't care.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. They're saying 18 minutes of flight time, a 2-kilometer range, and it's all basically an excuse to stuff a 12-megapixel camera on a drone. Yes. 4K at 24 to 40 frames per second, 24 to 30 frames per second. It's already mounted on a gimbal, so you don't have to buy a gimbal. It's dual operator ready.
Cool.
But the big deal is these crazy carbon fiber swing arms that allow you to sort of shift the center of gravity of the body and make sure the camera isn't blocked by the propellers.
By the propeller thingies.
Propeller thingies. The Whitby and Martha Stewart displays at the MakerBot booth.
Hold up. Did you just say Martha Stewart?
I said Martha Stewart. I'm going to say napkin ring in a second, too.
Oh
Whitby is a Montessori school that's pushing 3D printing curriculum in the classroom. The idea that there's all this incredible stuff that you can learn.
Yeah.
So they had a model on display. The landscape that was on display was designed and printed by 5th grade students. I want to see those models on Thingiverse in the worst way. Martha had napkin rings and place card holders and really brightly colored, fun, springtimey, friendly.
Yay, girly.
Yeah, girly. Hey, like, you know.
Hold up. Say that again.
Yay, girly.
Oh my gosh.
I'm kind of domestic. I'm not napkin ring and place card holder domestic, but it was really cool to see, yet another evolution of something. And in this case, it actually really looked good. So they're going to play around with the, Martha Stewart Omnimedia is going to be dropping more designs. MakerBot also had some really cool composite filaments that are apparently blended with real wood, metal, and stone. So the texture on that was really interesting.
God, I miss those.
While I am being domestic, the Brothers Scan and Cut CM550 electronic cutting machine can actually do thicknesses through leather. It can scan and then create cutouts for you, and I see this being a part of my stenciling lifestyle in the future. But the cutting machines, it's cool about this one, it'll actually scan in things, you can scale them, you can shrink them, and unlike a lot of the competitors at this point, they're not making you sort of pay a monthly fee to store your, your designs on the cloud and then not have access to them if you don't pay the
Thank you
money.
for not doing that.
Thank you for not doing that. It's a very good thing. Razer's Turret Gaming Mouse and Lap Board. So if there's a stand, you pull the keyboard out, you fold it back in half like that. The mouse is slightly magnetic, so it sticks to the board side of it. So you can do really cool living room gaming and a really easy storage of your gear. And 10, I have no idea. There was too much shiny, although we'll say...
There was a lot of shiny awesomeness things.
Yeah, and there's like 2,000 vendors, so it's crazy.
It's impossible to see everything, so we pretty much split up. I'm so jealous you got to see the MakerBot stuff and the Oculus Rift.
You should be jealous. It was pretty awesome. Samsung's wireless audio system, the offspring of kind of a Sonos and a vintage Electrolux vacuum by way of 360-degree wireless portable sound. That's going to be my 10th thing for now. No shipping information, no pricing information, but it was. Is
there ever?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, we saw a lot of stuff at CES, and it's impossible to see everything just by yourself.
And some of the things you've seen cannot be unseen, but we tried to keep showing those terrible things.
Spider dresses. It was a thing.
I'm not going there, and I didn't see it, and I don't want to hear it. If you have a picture on your phone, don't show me.
I won't.
I'm just saying. This episode of TekThing is brought to you by viewers like you. If you're enjoying the show, please consider donating to our Patreon.
You can donate a nickel, a dime, or even $5 per episode, and that contribution goes directly back into the show production. And remember, if you can't donate, that's okay. I ate ramen noodles for like several years during college. It's true.
We'd love it if you share the show with your friends, subscribe on YouTube, or just send us your questions on your favorite social network. And we want to thank you so much for supporting the show. And hey, patreon.com/TekThing.
That's right. Yay!
Help us out, people.
Thank you so much to every single one of you. You guys are awesome. CES questions. We had a few, so I wanted to go ahead and bring those up over on the Twitters. First off, we had one over at My Hockey Feed on Twitter. He said, would love to know if you guys checked out Pono or other audio goodies. Your thoughts on them?
Well, the short version is they all sound really nice. It's kind of funny.
They do.
I don't know if anybody remembers, Sony dropped a $300 high-def audio player last year in November, the Walkman A17. I got to pull one apart on Signal. Or that Astel and Kern and FiiO have been selling, or FiiO have been selling some pretty badass portable audio players for a while. I did get hands-on with the Sony Walkman NZ ZX2 and the Pono player. or I should say ears on with them. The NX2, which is Sony's new $1,200 high-def audio box with sort of a leather-like back and a big gold jack.
It's very premium.
It's very premium. It's very stylish.
Yes.
It's very stylish. DSD, Wave, Ape, FLAC, Apple lossless files. I got to listen both with Sony's MDR-1A headphones, which are like $300, and the crazy audiophile combo of their MDR Z7 cans, which were powered by Sony's pretty hefty PHA-3 portable headphone amplifier, connected by about 8 pounds of copper in the form of Kimber Cable's balanced 3-pole mini plug connectors. I can't imagine what that trio costs. But it's, they sound good. But the problem is it's a horrible environment to listen in CES.
It's very, very loud. So even though they restrict a lot in noise from around you, it's still very hard to hear inside of any headphones there.
Early listening says it sounds great. I'm a little concerned about Android in my music player, but I don't think it's really necessary.
I did do some comparison between like playing Daft Punk on MP3, just like from my phone, and then playing Daft Punk on their new Walkman, that premium one. And I could definitely hear a quality uptake when I was listening to the Walkman.
$1,100 of quality is another question. Anybody who jumped on Pono Music's $6 million Kickstarter last year should be super happy with the $400 triangle full of music. Pono had them on the show floor. They were using Sennheiser's excellent Momentum cans. By the way, there's going to be a Bluetooth version of Momentum coming out this year. I'm pretty excited. Pono sounded great, but again, well, you know what? We're going to get to listen to them closer and see how they sound. But so far, they sound really, really good. And there's a lot of them out there.
Yay! And we also got a tweet from @Sunburn. They said, out of all the things that you saw, which of them will be most successful a year from now? All right, so do you know the future?
No, I do not know the future. But I will say that LG's OLED TVs are going to do fantastic. That extended dynamic range, the quantum dot technology, which is available in Samsung and a bunch of other brands. We'll get Robert Heron on in the next week or two to talk about that. I think that's really going to look amazing.
The Samsungs always, all the TVs always seem to do really, really well whenever they're released at CES because there's so much talk about them, and everybody wants a new TV, of course. I mean, can we lie here? It's true.
It's true. Did you ever get your hands on the Flex 2?
Yes, I did actually. I thought it was pretty cool. It was comfortable in my hand, surprisingly, because it wasn't too big. Right. It's only like 5 inches or 5.5.
I think it's 5.5 inches.
As opposed to the big 6-inch ones. So yeah, it was surprisingly nice.
Surprisingly nice.
Yeah, surprisingly.
And it has more curves. And it's got Qualcomm's top of the line processor.
Yes, it does.
Going to be a big help. Hey, that wraps up this episode of TekThing. We hope you like it. Got any questions, comments, or feedback, you can email us, ask@tekthing.com.
And hey, don't forget, subscribe on our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/c/TekThing. And remember, guys, if you haven't backed that stuff up, do it right now. It's very, very important. And remember, once in a while, just put down your phone. Step away from the screen. Just close it all and go somewhere cool. Do something analog. Like my pick for this week, which is Muir Woods, which is an awesome place up in the North Bay near San Francisco where you can actually check out some redwoods in person. It's only like $7, national park, really, really nice, excellent hiking.
There's an annual national park pass that gets you
there
in the holiday.
Yes,
it's the best thing I buy every year. I'm Patrick Norton.
I'm Shannon Morse.
We'll see you next week on TekThing. Fashion tips from Veronica. Toilet seat covers will degrease even the greasiest forehead.
Ew.